Soka University of America founder Daisaku Ikeda spent 11 years in his youth working alongside his mentor Josei Toda in the aftermath of World War II. The entire world, still reeling from the devastation of war, was at a crossroads. Old values had proven empty and meaningless. New ways of thinking were needed to inspire young people living in a world on the verge of collapse. Mr. Toda had carried the torch of humanistic education passed to him by his mentor, Tsunesaburo Makaguchi, through the darkest times of the 20th century. In his message to students at SUA's first commencement ceremony in 2005, Mr. Ikeda recalled, "I myself was 22 when I was entrusted with the vision of Soka University by my mentor, Josei Toda. Amidst the chaotic social conditions of post-war Japan, Mr. Toda's business had come to a truly critical pass, and I put aside all else to devote myself to working to the utmost for and to protect Mr. Toda. It was in the midst of these truly dire circumstances that I firmly pledged to build a center of higher education that would enable the principles of value-creating education to contribute to the peace and happiness of humankind." Soka University of America represents the culmination of the effort to make value-creating education a reality. A new university, one founded with the mission of fostering a steady stream of global citizens committed to living contributive lives, opened in Aliso Viejo on May 3, 2001. Responding to the vision of a school that prepares students to give back to their families, neighborhoods, and society, 120 students from 18 countries began their studies at Soka 3 months later that August. Less than a month later, the Twin Towers fell. The hope of learning that brought the first class of SUA together at the start of the 21st century was immediately tested by the hopelessness of war. Despite their worries, students studied with an even sharper sense of purpose. Their commitment to give back to their families, hometowns, and the world spurred them on. They developed lifelong friendships with each other across their differences, inspiring each other to find the goals and dreams that would guide their lives after Soka. At Soka's second student festival, responding to students' letters expressing their resolve to study hard, Mr. Ikeda wrote a message addressing the resignation gripping the world at the time. "Even if the world resigns itself to despair, I expect that you will continue to fight for humanity to the very end. To foster such courageous leaders is the mission of SUA." In response to the challenges and expectations borne by students during Soka's founding years, new student-led traditions emerged one after another. Traditions that encompass the joy, complexity, and interrelated nature of our world. One of the most significant of these traditions is an appreciation for the people working behind the scenes who make Soka possible.
I just want to say thank you so much. If it wasn't for donors like you, I would not be able to.
皆様のご寄付のおかげで4年間持続して
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to go to the most amazing school.
Thank you so much for the donations.
There is unlimited meaning and purpose to supporting this endeavor because I truly believe it is what the world has been waiting for.
Now, as we commemorate our 20th anniversary, at a time when people across the world anxiously await signs of hope, we face another once-in-a-generation turning point. Let's make this next decade a time when we respond boldly to the challenges of our era. A time when we embody the 3 characteristics of global citizenship underlying Soka's philosophical heritage. A time when Soka alumni emerge as innovators, trailblazers, and leaders in different fields and communities around the world. A time to work across our differences as we build a Soka community in which every person feels treasured and empowered to learn and grow. This 20-year milestone is a moment of reflection and celebration, but more importantly, it's the beginning of SUA's next era, which will culminate in 2030 when we celebrate our 30th anniversary. What will you accomplish? What will you contribute? As each one of us, students, alumni, staff, faculty, friends, family, and Soka supporters around the world, grapples with these questions in our own unique way, let's take heart in Mr. Ikeda's commencement message to the class of 2020. From the earliest of times, human history can be characterized as a struggle against disaster and disease. Along with the triumph over this challenge, as people crafted response after response by working together and exchanging insights to achieve further progress. All of you have come together at SUA as you share bonds that are mystic and inextricably linked. And so, I call on you, advance ever onward in good cheer with your friends on campus and fellow alumni, rising up again and again as you continue to encourage and support one another, come what may. Do so while exhorting yourselves on with this resolve in your hearts. I will not be defeated. We will win no matter what.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the 20th anniversary celebration of Soka University of America's Aliso Viejo campus. We are very excited to celebrate this special moment together with you, our dear friends, family, and supporters from around the world. My name is Corina Giselle, Sohokai alumna from the class of 2015.
My name is Zane Romano, a proud alumnus from the class of 2009, and we are honored to be your MCs for this event, live from Soka University of America. We are here today because at the age of 22, a vision was seeded in our founder, Daisaku Ikeda, by his mentor, Josei Toda. Mr. Ikeda finally recalls that warm autumn day in November 1950 when Mr. Toda shared the dream of building a university based on Mr. Makaguchi's theory of value-creating education. With his advanced age and the limited time Mr. Toda had remaining, he entrusted the fulfillment of that dream to Mr. Ikeda, who accepted these words as his mentor's cherished wish and engraved them deeply in his heart. 21 years after this conversation, our founder established and opened Soka University in Japan, and 51 years later, in August 2001, SUA opened its doors to the first class. The establishment of both universities was the fulfillment of a lifelong commitment to his mentor.
Soka University of America cultivates a stream of individuals committed to creating new value in response to the enduring challenges of humanity and to contribute to the betterment of the global community. This is the vast and noble heritage each of us inherited from Mr. Ikeda. As we commence this event and reflect on the past 20 years, we recall May of 2001 when we were joined by representatives of the Acjacheman Nation at SUA's dedication ceremony. The Acjacheman are the original inhabitants and stewards of these hills of Aliso Viejo, upon which SUA is built. For many thousands of years, their culture and way of life thrived because they viewed the land as something that was sacred and in need of protection, and keenly perceived their interconnectedness with the natural world. As a university that seeks to foster leaders for the creative coexistence of nature and humanity, and global citizens who have the wisdom to perceive the interconnectedness of all life and living, we have much we can continue to learn from them. Over the last 20 years, we have been honored time and again through their presence at special events. Especially meaningful was the ceremonial blessing performed during the opening of our residential building, Acjacheman Hall. In May of 2001, they honored us with their presence, and today, on the eve of our 20th anniversary, we are again grateful to be joined by the representatives of the Acjacheman Nation as they share a traditional blessing song.
Oh ea hey, oh ea ho, oh ea hey, oh ea ho, wea hey, wea hey, oh ea ho. Tu omna, o matawe, hono shisheila, o yai natoi. Here we are on this beautiful land of Soka University. We call upon our ancestors, the Acjacheman people, to join with us as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of this home. We thank you for all the blessings that you have sent our way, from the trees to the birds to the plants to the little creatures, and to all the young people that have come to learn so that they can go out and take their message to the rest of the world in peace and in harmony. Ilah, Amen.
That was beautiful. Thank you again to the Acjacheman elders for performing that traditional blessing song. In our short 20-year history since the Aliso Viejo campus opened, we have established a strong foundation and have added the Soka Performing Arts Center and Marie and Pierre Curie Science Hall in the last 10 years. SUA has also been ranked as one of the top 30 liberal arts colleges in the United States. Today, Soka continues to develop, having recently established the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion and opened the Center for Race, Ethnicity, and Human Rights. Personally, I look forward to the work yet to come on this front. As an institution with a lofty mission that seeks to foster great leaders who will unite the world with the treasure of humanity, transcending barriers of nationality, ethnicity, and cultural backgrounds, we are committed to continued development and advancement. We invite all of you who are joining us today to enjoy and take pride in what we have created together. We have an amazing event planned for you today. Please welcome SUA President Edward Feasel.
Hello. I'm happy to share as we celebrate our 20th anniversary that tomorrow, May 3rd, will officially be Soka University of America Day in the city of Aliso Viejo and in the county of Orange. Our thanks to Mayor Tiffany Ackley, Orange County Supervisor Lisa Bartlett, State Assemblywoman Lori Davies, State Senator Pat Bates, and Congresswoman Michelle Steele for recognizing the 20th anniversary of our Aliso Viejo campus. I am standing in the newly refurbished Founders Meeting Room located on the 3rd floor of Founders Hall, which is dedicated to our university founder, Daisaku Ikeda. Behind me, you see the large picture of the Himalayan mountains that Mr. Ikeda gave to the students of SUA in 2004 with his expectation that they will climb the highest peaks in life. I am happy to share a message that we received from Mr. Ikeda for today's event. The message reads as follows. Congratulations. Thanks to the noble dedication of the honorable students, graduates, faculty, and staff, and all of the supporters of Soka education, Soka University of America is now receiving a great deal of attention and praise as a model of education for global citizenship. Many graduates are also active in various fields of society around the world. As a founder, there is no greater joy than this. As the world faces unprecedented trials, SUA's mission to challenge and build a century based on the sanctity of life with an unwavering philosophy and solidarity is growing. With the next 10 years as a goal, please build a new history of value creation for SUA based on strong bonds. Together, let's emit the eternal light of hope in the future of our community. Please give my best regards to everyone. I am so happy we're able to receive this message, and I want to take the opportunity to thank Mr. Ikeda as founder for his continued support of SUA in so many different ways over the last 20 years. On May 3rd, 20 years ago, our university dedication took place. We didn't have any students at that time, but hundreds of supporters traveled to Aliso Viejo to participate in the launch of the great undertaking of education to foster global citizens. In his message to the participants, Mr. Ikeda shared the following, quote, "What does one leave to humanity after one's passing? For me, the answer is education. It is the university," unquote. Inspired by this vision, many of our wonderful donors attended that dedication event, and they, together with thousands of others who couldn't come, have supported us generously for the last 20 years. Recently, I've had the pleasure of meeting some of our donors by Zoom, and I am so inspired and impressed by their selfless dedication to support us year in and year out, often despite their own humble and sometimes challenging circumstances. I recently met separately with 3 such women who have formed a sisterhood and have encouraged each other to support SUA financially over the years. When 2 of them faced severe health circumstances, their first thought was to make a donation to SUA before they went through the difficult surgery and medical treatment. The 3 traveled together to the bank to support each other in making the wire transfer donation. Hearing stories like this from donor after donor makes me realize how special SUA is. These donors are not alumni. They have not worked at SUA, yet they believe in the vision of SUA to foster global citizens, global leaders who will make a positive contribution to the world. I want to take this opportunity to also thank our alumni for their 20th anniversary fundraising campaign. The funds from this campaign have allowed us to make many campus enhancements focused on our 20th anniversary goal of recommitting to the founding principles and spirit of SUA. Looking back, we certainly have come very far in 20 years. This year, we launched our new Life Sciences concentration and completed our new Curie Science Hall. I'm happy to announce that SUA recently was awarded a $1 million John Stauffer Endowment for Student Research. Based on our own matching fundraising, this endowment will fund student summer research in chemistry and biochemistry. The Nieves Family Foundation has also announced it will establish student and faculty summer research grants for other fields as well. These new programs will provide a groundswell of support for student summer research beginning next year. I have also asked our development team, in addition to raising matching donations for this Stauffer Endowment, to launch a new campaign to create diversity scholarships so that we can increase our support to bring students to SUA who might not otherwise be able to come due to financial circumstances. I am very excited about these new endeavors, and I want to thank our donors and alumni in advance for your support. On this historic day, as I reflect on the current state of the world, I believe the ethic of global citizens that SUA embraces and champions is what is most needed in society. As the Soka community of students, faculty, staff, alumni, donors, and supporters, let us each continue to develop in our lives the courage not to deny difference, but to learn from and celebrate them. Let's set the example and share with the world that each person's lived experience serves as an equally rich opportunity for us to expand our knowledge and love for humanity. Through celebrating and learning from the diverse identities in the world, we can also deepen our intrinsically held value for the dignity and sanctity of every life, and in this way create what our university founder, Daisaku Ikeda, has called the brilliant glory of human harmony. I believe this internal growth within each individual is critical at this time, and my goal is that in the next 10 years, SUA will become the acknowledged leader and champion of education for global citizenship throughout the world. In his message 20 years ago, Mr. Ikeda stated, quote, "It is my hope and desire that the waves of world citizens united and awakened to a genuine global ethic will spread without cease into an ever more brilliant future. Let us continue to advance to achieve this goal." Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Feasel. Now we will have a special announcement by the chair of our Board of Trustees, Stephen Dunham.
On behalf of Soka University of America's Board of Trustees, I'm delighted to join you in celebrating the 20th anniversary of our Aliso Viejo campus. It is truly remarkable how far we have come in such a short period of time. Last month, the board met to discuss how we could honor our university founder, Daisaku Ikeda, on this special milestone. We decided to implement two permanent honors. First, a new Daisaku Ikeda Endowed Chair to support faculty excellence. And second, the naming of our undergraduate liberal arts program as the Daisaku Ikeda College. Similar to how Pepperdine's liberal arts program is called Seaver College, and UC San Diego has a variety of named undergraduate colleges, including Revelle, John Muir, Thurgood Marshall, Earl Warren, and Eleanor Roosevelt colleges. It is in that spirit that we honor Daisaku Ikeda, without whom SUA would not have been possible. Please know that this honor is not a change of identity for the university. We will still be Soka University of America and SUA to ourselves and to the outside world, and Soka University of America will still be on our diplomas. Rather, the board sees these actions as a special and meaningful acknowledgement of Mr. Ikeda's foundational leadership and fundamental role he has played in making SUA so successful. We are equally grateful to all of our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and donors for their many contributions to our success. Congratulations to all of the SUA family on the 20th anniversary in Aliso Viejo. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dunham. What an amazing announcement. This anniversary is not just an opportunity to celebrate, but to reconfirm what makes SUA unique and to ensure our founding principles can live and breathe in our culture, curriculum, and institutional DNA. So what distinguishes Soka among other institutions of higher learning? Number one, our founder, Daisaku Ikeda, and the educational philosophy upon which SUA was founded.
Number two, our global community of donors and supporters. More than 20,000 individuals, groups, and organizations from all over the world have contributed financially to the founding and building of Soka, all inspired by Mr. Ikeda's vision of creating a university of, by, and for the people.
Number three, our students and alumni. Since opening, Soka has graduated close to 1,500 alumni who hail from more than 57 countries across the world, who are making groundbreaking contributions across a diverse range of fields.
We are fortunate to have a truly profound and deeply important mission to actualize global citizenship in our daily lives. A vibrant aspect of Soka students' development as global citizens is their engaged efforts both in and outside of the classroom. Student clubs are a dynamic aspect of student life. Students are actively involved in over 30 different clubs and affinity groups. Despite the physical distance necessitated by virtual learning this year, students have continued engaging and building community with one another. Notably, through a collaborative effort, student clubs Vita Philharmonic Orchestra and Cats and Crowns, who span the globe, have prepared a rendition of the student song, On the Path of Peace. First, we will have student Flor Mejia Mendoza, class of 2024 from Honduras, share her experience, followed by the joint student club performance of On the Path of Peace. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Flor del Cielo. I was born and raised here in Honduras, Central America, and I'm a first-year student at Soka. So I first heard about Soka through my Education USA counselor, and my advisor recommended me Soka because of the values and everything Soka represents. The email that I was accepted at Soka, and I went crazy. And I called my parents, hey, come, because I want you to see the email, and they were happy. Soka was our number one option. Beginning of July, we're turning everything to online, so we're just arranging stuff. Getting to know everyone from all around the world, like Nepal, India, Japan, so many countries, South America. It was just very mind-blowing, and it was a very cool experience because everyone at Soka has been so sweet, amazing, kind. So my story is the following. My mom woke up. It was also a shiny, sunny day. She heard a neighbor screaming from outside, hey, we need to evacuate. A wave is coming towards us. And then she got out and she saw a huge wave coming towards us indeed. I didn't understand what was going on. It was 6 a.m. and I was still sleepy. I started packing my school notebook, some clothing, and my Soka computer. When we got out, the water was already a little bit below our knees. So we walked 2 blocks away from our house to a rooftop one of our neighbors had. When we were on top, we saw how fast the water was increasing its height. Within 10 minutes, we saw how the water doubled its height. That's when we knew things were not getting any better. And within 10 minutes, we decided, you know what? The best thing is to get down this rooftop and escape our neighborhood. So when we got down the terrace, the water was already by our chests. When we started walking, or basically swimming our ways out of our neighborhood, we just saw how cars were floating, things were floating, everything was just terrible. The water was just too high. On our ways out, I had my Soka computer here on top of me, my backpack, my sister here, and then my parents were coming towards us. So we got out of the neighborhood through the hall. I fell down, but the Soka computer is okay. My parents are okay. My sister is okay. We all got out safe. We got to a hotel, and when we saw the news, my mom started crying very bad because it was 20 years of hard work. She had worked along with my father for all these 20 years to give my sister and I the enough, and everything was just thrown away in about 20 minutes. She's very positive. She's always been very positive. When I saw my mom crying, that she needed my help, and although I also felt very sad, I knew I couldn't keep myself from being sad because she needed my help. My dad needed my help. My dad was also very bad. It took us around 2 weeks to clean the house when another hurricane struck us, and another flood came. So it took us another 2 weeks to clean the house. My parents were still sad, but they found strength in my support. By December, we were able to move back home. So that's when I began studying and doing the homework I was missing from last semester because the semester was over. So during my holidays, I was studying for my chemistry exams. I was doing homework assignments. I was catching up with everything because I had to complete my prerequisite classes before I started my second semester. My professors were so supportive. They told me, do not worry about classes. Please, shout out to all my professors. They were just the best. Also, the staff, they were so understanding. President Ed Feasel, he emailed me. The mental support from your president at university, just wow. And from everyone who knew reached out to ask how things were going and how could they help. Now in our house, and we're safe, thankfully, and now everything is great. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, VLPO and Cats and Crowns, for performing the song remotely. And thank you, Flor, for sharing your experience. I'm so moved by your commitment to learning despite the challenges you faced. We will now hear from two more of our current Soka students, Biplab Karki, class of 2022 from Nepal, and Thokozile Changufu, class of 2021 from Zambia, who will share their personal experiences with us. Please enjoy.
Hello, Namaste. I'm Biplab Karki. I'm 27 and I'm a junior here at Soka University of America. I'm concentrating on social and behavioral sciences. I'm from Nepal, and one fact about me is that I almost failed my high school and had to retake my exams. As a result, I lost faith in myself and convinced myself that I'm not cut out for academia. The sad reality of education in Nepal, for the most part, is that if you think you can't do anything else, you become a teacher. So I became a primary school teacher in a rural area of Nepal, which was about 3 hours uphill journey on foot from the nearest bus station. The village did not have access to either electricity or any means of telecommunication. Working with the very curious children, though, was an amazing experience, and their incessant questions rekindled my own curiosity and ultimately inspired me to return back to college. In 2015, Nepal was hit with a devastating earthquake, and I was involved in the rescue and rehabilitation efforts for the local people around the school. After that, I got an opportunity to work as a social mobilizer in the Equal Steps project. The project aimed at ending gender-based violence and establishing gender equality by making survivors of gender-based violence financially independent through skill-based trainings and by bringing perpetrators to the rule of law. I witnessed a lot of disturbing incidents of violence against women, which still gives me PTSD from time to time. But at the same time, it also makes me feel good that we were able to rescue 6 women and help 30 others start their own small businesses. I was looking for colleges whose mission was related to creating a more equitable and peaceful societies. That is when I found Soka. Its mission to produce global citizens living a contributive life, its principles of human rights, pacifism, and sanctity of life, and its values of wisdom, courage, and compassion aligned perfectly with my own. One needs wisdom to see the vices of society, courage to speak against it, and compassion to help those who are suffering. Starting college as 23 was not an easy decision for me. I had a lot of doubts about fitting in, but coming to Soka has been one of the best decisions of my life. Soka's financial aid allowed me to completely focus on my education without having to worry about exploring other means of financing college. I have been able to learn from wonderful professors, impactful courses, as well as diverse group of friends. I have also been able to work in different departments within Soka, which has helped me grow further professionally. And this fall, I will be studying abroad in Barcelona, Spain. With the money I made working on campus, I, along with some of my friends, have been able to fund a young survivor's education in Nepal. Her family was forcing her to get married at 16, but she had dreams and she wanted to study further. And she just graduated high school and now she is pursuing her bachelor's degree in economics. I think you reach a point in your life where somebody else's achievements make you way happier compared to your own achievements. I am forever grateful to Soka's education, which is not only impacting the lives of its students, but also many others in many indirect ways. Finally, this June, I will be interning with Google's information technology team in the headquarters at Mountain View, California. I learned about IT working at Soka's IT department as a student technician. I think IT is very similar to social work because it's also about troubleshooting and finding solutions to other people's problems. And just like social work, it gives me immense pleasure and satisfaction when I can finally solve someone's issues. Having almost given up on life and education, I feel very lucky to have come this far, and I really want to thank Soka for this opportunity. In the future, I hope to use the interdisciplinary knowledge I have obtained at Soka to fight the vices of society, like gender-based violence. I hope my story can inspire others to never give up. It's never too late to do anything. I want to be able to help those who might find themselves on the verge of giving up and enable them in whatever ways possible to pursue their dreams. One of my immediate goals is to find a way to enable young survivors of gender-based violence, like the one we're currently supporting, experience quality education like that of Soka through mentorship as well as sponsorships. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Thokozile Changufu and I am part of the class of 2021. I am originally from Lusaka, Zambia. I grew up in a small rural town called Chisamba. Growing up there, I got to spend a lot of time in nature, and I believe that's where I formed my strong connection to my environment. And it's something that was so dear to me, just those deep earth connections, being connected to the land is something that I have always valued. In my time at SUA, I have been very fortunate, most of all, to form meaningful connections. And I believe that I was able to form meaningful connections with my professors who just really encouraged me to live out my mission. Friendships that I was able to cultivate are most important to me. I have been fortunate to have such a diverse group of friends, and I really do believe that this cross-cultural exchange helps me to feel like a citizen of the world, and I'm still constantly aspiring to make more friendships everywhere I go. I really believe that Soka instilled the importance of just making friendships.
During my time at Soka, I was fortunate to be involved in various clubs, from Model United Nations to dance clubs such as Dance for a Cause and Soka Cheer, but notably I was involved in athletics at Soka. I participated as an athlete and competed in cross country and track. I was also involved in SAC, which is known as the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, where I was a leader, as well as serving as the head of the Diversity and Inclusion Committee, which was the most important contributions that I feel I made at Soka.
Wangari Maathai was a Kenyan environmental activist, and she is well renowned for her tree planting movement in Kenya, where she empowered local communities, especially women, to take care of the environment while also helping them secure their livelihoods.
The movement started as a tree planting campaign. That's how we enter into communities. But it is a little more than just the planting of trees. It's planting of ideas. It's giving people reasons why they should stand for their rights. It's giving them reasons why they should protect their environmental rights, and giving them reasons why they should protect their women's rights.
It meant a lot to me in my time at Soka. Unfortunately, I do not get to sit in the hall named after Dr. Wangari Maathai because of the pandemic, but I was fortunate enough to take several classes in that hall, and it was very meaningful to me. The founder of my university had a connection to Wangari Maathai and believed in the work that she was doing, and to just honor her by having that hall showed me that my university really valued her work. Studying her work showed me that one woman, one person can make such a difference in the community, and I'm so inspired by her work. And I'm also an aspiring environmentalist, an aspiring forester, an ecofeminist, and yeah, she paved the way, I believe, for women like myself.
If I had the opportunity to speak to the donors, the very first thing that I would say is a wholehearted thank you. It's very difficult under the circumstances that I grew up in to get higher education, and creating and funding and contributing to a school that aims to educate citizens from all parts of the world, regardless of their financial circumstances. That is something so wonderful, and without your contribution, I would not be here. In times when I've really been struggling, Daisaku Ikeda's encouragement to students such as myself have just helped me to push through and overcome. So his encouragement is to believe in oneself, to be undefeated, and to uplift others. So this encouragement when I'm feeling like things are hard, you have to believe in yourself. And those words, and like, yes, I will believe in myself, I can do this. And to just be undefeated by the circumstances, to keep going, to have that perseverance and say, oh, I will overcome. I will get my degree. I will finish this race in cross country or track. I can do it. And to just encourage others in the process. So these words just resonated with me, and they keep me going. I will never give up on myself. I will be undefeated, and I will continue to uplift others. After graduation, I plan to continue furthering my studies by going to grad school. and I've been so fortunate that my hard work has paid off and culminated into me being accepted into the Yale School of Forestry, where I will be studying forest and nature conservation and helping to protect the environment, which I believe is one of my core values, caring for the world that we live in so future generations can also enjoy it. So I feel very fortunate. I feel that Soka has prepared me for this next stage in my life. I feel that I have found my calling as an environmentalist, as a forester, and I am very excited for the future.
Thank you, Biplab and Toko. To commemorate the 20th anniversary, Soka launched the Soka Global Citizen Award. Given annually, this award honors an individual whose work embodies the essential elements of global citizenship and has made a notable contribution to the global community in one or more of the following areas outlined by Mr. Ikeda in his Teachers College address. To root the practice of nonviolence in human society. To study current ecological realities and means of protecting the environment. To focus attention on issues of poverty and global justice, to awaken an awareness of human equality and dignity. This award carries with it a prize of $25,000 to support the recipient's continued work. To introduce and present the inaugural award, President Feasel.
It is my great honor to announce the first winner of SUA's Global Citizen Award, Ambassador Anwarul K. Chowdhury, for his life's work and achievements for peace, women's rights and equality, and for the cause of the world's poorest and most disadvantaged nations. Ambassador Chowdhury has served as the UN Undersecretary General and High Representative for least developed countries, landlocked developing countries, and small island developing states, President of the UN Security Council, President of UNICEF, Permanent Representative of the UN, and Senior Special Advisor to the UN General Assembly President. He has received numerous honors and awards, including the U Thant Peace Award, UNESCO Gandhi Gold Medal for Culture of Peace, Spirit of the UN Award, University of Massachusetts Boston Chancellor's Medal for Global Leadership for Peace, 2018 Global Women's Peace Award, 2020 Robert Mueller World Peace Prize for UN Global Peace Leader, and the L'Ordre National from the Burkina Faso government for his championing the cause of landlocked developing countries. Ambassador Chowdhury is the founder of the New York-based Coalition of Civil Society Organizations and the Global Movement for the Culture of Peace. Today we are honored as he shares his thoughts from his home in New York.
What a momentous day it is. A very wholehearted and full-throated happy anniversary to you all as we celebrate the founding of the Soka University of America in Aliso Viejo 20 years ago. On this very day, I have the honor and pleasure of being the first recipient of the Global Citizen Award from this institution of excellence. This prestigious award is a recognition of my humble work for and contribution to the good of humanity throughout my life. And receiving it today would be cherished by me for the rest of my life. Thank you, SUA. Thank you all. Thank you, President Dr. Edward Feasel, for the institution of the award faithfully reflecting the mission of SUA and bestowing on me the distinction of being its first recipient. I pay my respectful tribute and endless gratitude to the founder of the university, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, for his vision, for his philosophy, that inspires SUA while the world benefits from the commitment and dedication of its students, past and present, and for sure in future. The SUA attributes of wisdom, courage, and compassion contribute to the elaboration of the concept of global citizenship as the objective of education. Dr. Ikeda's thoughts on education for global citizenship, articulated in his address quarter century ago at the Columbia University, continue to chart the pathway to a better world for all of us. I recall with pride and nostalgia of being the first commencement speaker at SUA in 2005. At that time, I had emphasized that let us remember that the work for peace is a continuous process. Each of us can make a difference in that process. This is especially true of the young people, referring to the graduating class. My decade-long teaching of the Culture of Peace course at SUA wonderfully blended with the university's mission and encouraged me to continue to share my life's education, experience, and expertise with its most admirable students. The culture of peace and global citizenship are mutually contributive and enhancing. Recalling my encouragement for and my own involvement in the first one in 2016, I am delighted to know that the second World Summit of Educators will be held next month at the university with the theme of Educating for Global Citizenship, Building an Equitable, Peaceful, and Sustainable World. Uniqueness of these global gatherings come from the fact that those are conceptualized, hosted, and organized by the students themselves, of course, with the guidance of the faculty. And those gatherings commemorate the anniversary of Dr. Ikeda's historic speech. I feel deeply honored for receiving the Global Citizen Award from SUA, and I have the pleasure to dedicate it to my life partner, Mariam Chowdhury, who made her life's transition at the outset of this year. To Mariam and to me, SUA was and is our second home. As our dear Danny Habuki, the first president, always used to say, welcoming both of us at the campus most warmly. To Mariam, SUA was a family. Its students, its faculty, its support staff, and the bigger community members, as she loved everybody spontaneously and unconditionally. She cherished immensely the love, care, and respect she received from all of them. Expecting your support and encouragement, I would like to suggest the creation of a Mariam Chowdhury Corner for Global Citizenship at SUA for enhanced study and learning about the university's founding principles as envisioned by Dr. Ikeda. For that objective, I would also dedicate my award money in full to give shape to this initial suggestion in the loving memory of Mariam. Like Mariam, I always treat the SUA family as my own. And today's honor makes me, as they say, the grand old man of the family. Of course, after my respected and dearest friend, the SUA founder, Dr. Ikeda. Thank you all, and a happy 20th anniversary again.
Congratulations again, Ambassador Chowdhury, on the inaugural Global Citizen Award. I can't think of anyone more deserving. Our precious alma mater continues to advance and grow, continually evolving to educate and produce capable global citizens. In fall 2020, the SUA campus entered into a new era where now students interested in pursuing professions within the field of life sciences are able to receive their foundational education with global citizenship at the core. Let's take a look at how the new life sciences concentration strengthens the undergraduate education offered at Soka.
Wherever you are, whenever you are, welcome to this, the celebration of the first 20 years of the existence of Soka University of America. My name is Michael Weiner. I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs and the Dean of Faculty. And for the next minute or two, it'll be my pleasure to introduce you to some of the unique aspects of the liberal arts undergraduate degree program here at SUA. Although we are a small institution, we are amongst the highest ranked liberal arts universities in the United States. And because we are small, we are able to support an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. This means that we're able, again, to emphasize on interactive teaching and learning. Our students get to know us, and we get to know our students. This is supported also by an innovative general education program, characterized by its breadth and its depth, ranging from the humanities to the sciences, to the social sciences, to environmental issues, and language training, of course. Among the highlights are the learning clusters that take place during the January winter session. Learning cluster sections are capped at 12 students who collaborate with a member of faculty in the design of an intensive 3.5-week exploration of a specific theme or topic. A limited number of travel grants are also available to learning clusters, and these allow students and their faculty mentor not only to travel within the United States, but also abroad. Examples in the past have included the investigation of shared and contested histories between Japan and Korea, multiculturalism in Fiji, health and education in Brazil, the cultural politics of Disney World, Tokyo. The learning cluster concludes with a fair at which students present their findings. Another aspect of the undergraduate program that sets us apart from many of our peers is a full semester study abroad in the 3rd year, linked to one of 4 languages: Chinese, Japanese, Spanish, and French. And here we work with affiliate institutions throughout Latin America, in Europe, Africa, and of course, East Asia. All students at SUA are required to complete a capstone project, equivalent to an honors thesis, in which students work with an individual faculty member throughout the year to conduct research and to write the equivalent of a thesis. The core curriculum at this university is located within 5 interdisciplinary concentrations: the humanities, international studies, social and behavioral sciences, environmental studies, and a new life sciences concentration that was developed through the collaborative efforts of SUA alumni and faculty to provide pathways for students seeking to pursue a career in health fields. And with that, I close by welcoming you once again to this celebration, the 20th anniversary of the founding of Soka University of America, and pass the baton to my colleague, Professor Bryan Penprase.
I'm Bryan Penprase, Vice President for Sponsored Research and External Academic Relations. While I was Dean of Faculty from 2017 to 2020, I had the opportunity to work with an incredible group of Soka faculty to develop our new life sciences curriculum. We worked on this curriculum together with a science advisory board that included top experts in biology, chemistry, biomedical fields from around the world. And they helped us create what I think is one of the most unique and exciting curricula in all of undergraduate science education. Our curriculum includes interdisciplinary courses, project-based laboratories, and cutting-edge research experiences for students from the first semester. It will train students not only to be top practitioners in their fields, but also to be instilled with Soka University's spirit of peace and global citizenship. And now I'd like you to meet two of our dynamic new life sciences faculty who'd like to show you some of their favorite parts of our beautiful 91,000 square foot Curie Hall.
My name is Dr. Susan Walsh, and I am the director of the Life Sciences concentration here at Soka. I teach cell biology and cancer biology. One of the really unique things about our curriculum are the project-based labs and the research experiences. So all of our courses have labs in them, and the labs also are what we call cures, which are course-based undergraduate research experiences. So as a class, the students will not only learn the content that they might find in the textbooks to get that strong foundation, but they will also be able to participate in real research projects. And the goal of our research projects are, of course, to contribute to publishable research. So we expect to have our students as co-authors. We want to engage them in the laboratory and in the classroom and to get our work out there.
I always tell my students my hope for them is that they can find something that they would do as a career, even if they didn't need the money. Because I absolutely love what I do every day. My name is Marie Neidem. I'm an assistant professor of biology at Soka University of America. I'm a marine biologist, and I study invertebrates, and in particular, I use genetic and genomic techniques to study the evolutionary history of these invertebrates. My research students and I, up to 3 at a time, would be looking at the DNA of these marine organisms that I study. So first we go out to the marinas all across Southern California, and then we preserve the animals, extract their DNA, and then we can look at it using gel electrophoresis. A lot of these species are invasive, which means they come from other parts of the world. So what happens with these species can affect the entire food web, including commercially important fish species.
We're not trying to do things where the answer is already known. We really want our students to get out there into the world and really learn science by doing it.
The future of our campus continues to look bright. SUA alumni are engaged in various fields around the world, spanning equally important endeavors, from parenting the next generation, working at world-renowned institutions, teaching pre-K through university, advancing initiatives in the nonprofit sector, to leading and contributing research and frontline support across the globe tackling health, poverty, development, and equal access for all. Others have begun to make waves in the worlds of arts, entertainment, comedy, or building the next generation of transformational technology and manufacturing companies. Each of their contributions are equally as important as we seek to infuse all corners of the world with the principles of Soka, with wisdom, courage, and compassion at the core. Next, we will have Jennifer Orstrom from the class of 2008 share her experience.
Hello everybody, my name is Jenny Orstrom and I graduated from SUA in 2008 as a member of the 4th class. Thank you so much for letting me share my experience with you today. It is my greatest honor. So I came to SUA as an activist and I spent pretty much all of my time arguing with fellow students, faculty, and the administration as I fought for change. I felt like from a young age I was always fighting against the world. I was filled with passion and righteousness, but deep down I was actually fueled by anger and despair, and I lacked faith in humanity and in myself. Also, like many people, I weighed my worth in measurable things, so while I was at Soka, I ignored a critical aspect of our education, what we call the heart of Soka. I truly did not understand why we had to write thank you letters to donors we had never met, why my classmates kept infuriatingly telling me how important it was to be bright and cheerful, or why I should attend a birthday party for a perfect stranger just to make them feel welcome. Even as I fought so hard for human, animal, and environmental rights around the world, I actually had very little empathy for the person right in front of me. But everything changed when I was diagnosed with Lyme disease at the age of 28. I had been sick for many years before then, with symptoms even when I was at SUA, but by the time I was diagnosed, the bacteria had infested my brain and central nervous system, demolishing everything. I lost my ability to read, to write, to speak, to walk, and to think. I lost all memory of my life before, and I was plunged into a hellish nightmare that lasted year after year without even one day of reprieve. For the past 8 years, I have battled dementia, autism, amnesia, muteness, paralysis, Parkinson's, severe psychiatric disorders and learning disabilities, and violent dystonic fits that sent me to the ER and from which I almost died in 2019. But the cognitive losses far outstripped the physical ones. The illness took away everything that I had valued about myself and life, but it also took away everything that makes us human. Foundational things like memory, personality, ambition, imagination, and consciousness itself. My identity and my sense of worth evaporated along with everything that I had valued in life. Because what could my degrees from Oxford, Columbia, and SUA do for me now when I couldn't even read? My intellect, which I had prized so much before, was plunged from the 99th percentile to the 17th, and all of my deepest dreams of becoming a writer and starting a happy gay family were completely obliterated. Though I often felt worthless, I was constantly exposed to what we call SUA's culture of care. I'll never forget my meetings with fellow alumni. Every single person greeted me with the warmest hug and told me how happy and encouraged they were just to see me. One person called me a genius, and I remember being shocked to the point of tears that she would use a word like that to describe someone in my condition. My family never stopped treating me with dignity, and my amazing brother, who has only joined SUA for the 1st class, but has been embraced by them ever since, he dedicated 8 years of his life to taking care of me. Soho Kai friends from around the world also sent me messages of encouragement and told me how brave and beautiful I was when I felt the opposite. So it was from all of this that I truly felt the value of Soka education. I also ardently studied the writings of the founder, Daisaku Ikeda, and strove to actualize them with my life. And though I faced repeated setbacks every single year, I returned again and again to the promise of Soka education, that each of us has a profound mission for peace, infinite power, and the potential to be happy. When I decided to use my life to encourage others the same way that they had encouraged me, though my circumstances remained unchanged, I began to cultivate deep joy and appreciation. I fought with all my might, determined to encourage others no matter what my symptoms, and I had nothing concrete to offer, so all I had was fortitude, joyful endurance, and the power of a smile. And in this way, I truly learned about all of the most invisible but most important things in life, the matters of the heart. As many of you know, I'm still fighting every single day, but this time continues to be the most joyful and meaningful of my life. I still want all the same things that I did for the world, but now I believe that they're possible because I have faith in humanity and in myself. And everything I do is infused with this spirit of hope and empowerment, which I want to transmit to all of my young readers in the future. Without the care that I received from so many of you, and without this profound philosophy of Soka education, I would not have survived what I endured. Each of us has the most incredible, immeasurable mission for world peace. Soka education is like this great experiment, and we're both the subjects and its creators, because the proof of its success lies in how we live our lives. And though it is new to the world, I believe it is the most important force for change, because what other education has as its mission the fundamental happiness and genuine empowerment of its students? This is the promise of Soka education, but I believe its greatest challenge, because this heart of Soka can only be transmitted between people. It's the transmission of a life state of sincerity, hope, and compassion. I believe that this spirit is embodied in the radiant lives of my fellow alumni, in the conduct and character of our wonderful first university president, in the revolutionary ideals of the current students, and in all the writings of the founder. And together with you, I'd like to set my sights on even bigger and more impossible dreams so that I can be a living example of Soka education. So let's meet again at the 30th, the 40th, and the 50th anniversaries of SUA to share all of our victories and struggles together. Thank you so much.
It is incredibly encouraging to hear what our alumni have been doing in their own unique way. Thinking about all that's been accomplished in these last 20 years, I'm so eager to see what our Soka community will do in the next 10, 20, and even 50 years. To share more about exciting student-led projects, please welcome the current SUA Student Union President, Shunji Fueki.
Thank you, Corina and Zane, for your kind introduction. My name is Shunji Fueki, and I'm serving as the Student Government President this academic year. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the faculty, staff, and administration members for their kind support for students during this year of online learning. I want to thank all of our wonderful SUA donors for their generous support. I would also like to thank Soka founder Daisaku Ikeda for his contribution and support to SUA in ways both seen and unseen. Today, I'd like to share some of my fellow SUA students' activities, which showed our care and creativity to connect with one another during a year like no other. For example, some class leaders sent postcards to almost all of their classmates to reconnect with each other. Some upper class students were concerned about first years who have never been to campus before, and constantly reached out to them to help with their class registration or career development. Student athletes were not able to play together, but they practiced by themselves and stayed in touch with one another. Other students maintained their firm commitment to academics while managing housework and jobs back home. First years organized online class hangouts and study sessions to develop their friendships. My fellow SUA friends truly inspired me with their wisdom, courage, and compassion, which has brightened the darkness of this uncertain year. As the EC president, I also struggled to realize my goals and wondered what Soka education means in the online environment. During those times, I heard a wonderful story of Isaac Newton, who developed his research on the law of gravity during a pandemic and quarantine during 17th century Britain. Rather than just lamenting about the environment, he created significant value out of the struggle. Being inspired by his spirit, together with my wonderful EC teammates, we created two new student committees called the Appreciation Committee and the Founding Spirit Committee. Recognizing the profound support we receive from Soka donors around the world, the Appreciation Committee will try to bridge students and donors through interviews and campaigns. 5 members in the committee have already met some donors to share students' updates with them. The Founding Spirit Committee is composed of 5 students who have been working to create a speech collection of SUA founder Daisaku Ikeda's messages to SUA students. In so doing, the committee aims to create a comprehensive resource for students to learn about Soka education and the founding spirit of SUA. In commemoration of the 20th anniversary, I am thrilled to announce that this speech collection, titled Dear Global Citizens, will go to the printing press this summer and will be distributed to the SUA community next semester. The book contains over 300 pages, including all of our founders' messages to SUA students, as well as 10 of his university lectures conducted in the US, China, Russia, and other countries. I believe this book will serve as a great catalyst for meaningful dialogues and discussions that will deepen our commitment to SUA's mission and founding principles. I envision this coming fall when students finally gather together under California's sunny sky after overcoming various challenges they faced this past year. Mr. Ikeda shares in his message in 2004, I quote, "All of you at SUA, a university that still has very little tradition or history, may face many challenges right now. But I know that 10 years, 20 years, 100 years, 200 years from today, you will have earned the respect and appreciation of innumerable people and will be looked up to by all." End quote. I want to conclude my speech by thanking all of you for your care towards SUA and each other. Let's celebrate our hard work to develop this young university for the betterment of humanity. Thank you.
Thank you, Shunji. These projects remind me of the lyrics from the student song On the Path of Peace that state, "The dreams that came before us are engraved in travertine." It is wonderful to hear that the traditions such as the culture of care and studying Mr. Ikeda's writings continue spanning 2 decades. As we conclude today, we have a number of special 20th anniversary events coming up this year. On June 4th, we have the Youth Summit, the student-led sessions of the World Summit of Educators Conference. The following week, June 13th through the 14th, the virtual World Summit of Educators will be held with Wangari Maathai, daughter of Nobel Peace Laureate Wangari Maathai, as the keynote speaker. Please register for this free event. The Soka Performing Arts Center is excited to be raising the curtain on their own 10th anniversary celebration. They invite you to listen, feel, transform. You can find more details at www.soka.edu/events.
We'd like to share a snippet of our ongoing 20th anniversary photo mosaic project. This project was initiated by students together with the Community Engagement Committee as a way to connect the Soka community globally, including our alumni, donors, and sincere supporters around the world. We continue to welcome photo submissions on our 20th anniversary SUA website. This 20th anniversary celebration inspired me to recommit to the founding principles that I've been striving to live since my time as a student. From today again, I will be a person who embodies wisdom, courage, and compassion, the heart of a global citizen, and to be a light of hope in my community. On behalf of Soka University of America, I would like to sincerely thank our university founder, Mr. Daisaku Ikeda, for establishing SUA.
We all have a unique and important role in actualizing Soka's mission. Let's continue to build together toward a future where the principles of our university become commonplace in society. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate the 20th anniversary. Stay healthy, and until next time, please take care.